So, hello everyone and welcome to the 2019 opener of the Macau Grand Prix, the IVRC Macau Grand Prix, in its, of course, 2019 edition. We jump straight into the racing action here at the first race for today at the Touring Car Championship as it returns for its season finale, and race one is about to start at any moment's time. We're looking at Sven Gailhood. We will start from pole position, and we will look also forward to a very exciting one. 3 races will be driven today, and we can see drivers are now preparing already to go onto the street action here around the what it's called Asian Monaco. And we can see that, of course, Sven Gailhoud is on pole position. We'll start on pole position ahead of championship winning driver Max Verstappen. He returns for another attempt at winning at Macau. Bernard Roos, who won the whole TCC event last year, will start from P3. So he has a crown to defend, of course, but he drives a new car last year in the Cupra. And we should be ready now at any moment's time. The lights should go on. We can see that here, as the drivers are waiting eagerly, and so do we, to start the IVRC Macau GP here for 2019. The race is gone underway. We didn't see the lights, unfortunately, but it looked like a good start from Sven Gailhoud. But Max Verstappen is already alongside him, and he's able to pull it off. And there's a spin in the background and 2 Alphas flying around. There's absolutely destruction right behind there. We'll catch up with any of that later, but we will check the lead group as we go into Mandarin. It is the corner, and there's the last year's winner, Roos, struggling, but he made it to save it, and Max Verstappen is up into the lead. He won the championship already, and he's now looking forward to win race 1 here at the Macau GP. And of course it was a chaotic one. We expected that, as it's the nature of this circuit. And we also saw Kenneth Ragland has been into the wall. Now let's just have a quick checkup on the group that has crashed right there massively. These guys are still in the starting procedures. So let's go back live if IMS allows me to do that. Yes, it does. And there's been a collision between the MPG competition teammates, and it looks like Carlos Frau has some severe damage, unfortunately. And we will try to see what has happened at the start right here. I did expect everyone to crash into Lisboa, but it looks like, well, that's a very weird one. 2 separate incidents. It looks like Christian Alvarez spun around Jesus Chirinos, and also Carlos Frau was spun around by one of the SL Racing Golfs, and then from there on it was just basically chaos unfolding, of course, as the track is very narrow. And also Laszlo Teglas has been involved. He's currently in 11th. As we jump back to the live racing action, we can see the leading group is already trying to split apart the whole field, or what has been left of the field, as they now approach now of course the Melco hairpin, the famous Melco hairpin. And just like in real life, overtaking is strictly forbidden. There's absolutely tight corner, absolutely outstanding one. And it looks like Sven Gailhoud has messed it up. He just clipped the inside apparently, and he's dropping down the order now. He's stuck there for quite a while and being run into by literally every car. He's putting it into reverse now and once again into the wall, and then tries to rejoin the race, but he dropped from 2nd to 7th. That's quite a disastrous first lap for so many of the drivers. I didn't expect them to have such an eventful first lap. After all, absolute chaos unfolding. And we will just look very briefly what has happened to Sven right here, the Dutch driver. I think he clipped the inside of Melco, and yes, he did, absolutely, and then was spun around by Tanguy van der Wege, who had absolutely nowhere to go, and now it's a job to resurrect from 7th to a further position for Sven Gailhoud, the young Dutch, as I said before. And of course that's absolutely played everything into the hands of Max Verstappen of Repsol Syndicate Racing, who is now leading the field by a little bit more than 4 seconds, and that's quite the start he has certainly hoped for. I can also see that Bernard Roos already is gaining a lot more of momentum. He struggled out of Mandarin. It was the famous second corner, Mandarin named after the Mandarin Hotel, and we now go on board with him in his Peugeot 308 TCR as they now approach the entry of the Solitude SS. Of course, absolutely legendary circuit, and it's absolute brave to race these TCC cars around here, and they are now in the first section of the Solitude SS. And he's chasing down Alfie Bevan, who had a great run in the last few rounds, always scored a podium. He's really getting on pace, but look at the advantage. Bernard Moose is able to pull off the young Polish driver over the British driver just in front. As you can see, the Union Jack quite dominantly on the roof of the FRA sim racing car, as these guys go now into Police Bend, where the old famous GT3 crash has happened in real life a few years ago. And we can see now Moose is trying to come back a little bit, but it looks like Bevan has the upper hand for the moment, and we just Bevan really slow into there, and Moose was thinking about it, but no, he thought better of it in the end, and it looks like Stwerka has already made it through the corner. And now, of course, Moose has to wait out of the corner, out of Melker hairpin, but he has everything he can right now to get back onto the podium position. Of course, fight for third going on. Christian Alvarez in second, and it was Sven Gaylord clipping the wall again. That would be very surprisingly inconsistent for him. He was absolutely superior fast in free practice, and then of course in qualifying as well, as we look onto one of the two Alfa Romeos around here, and Jonathan Holahan in the Peugeot, in the guest driver's Peugeot, trying to get on the way and in the way of John McDonald. He made it around and thus gained another position. Carlos Frau looks like he is continuing the race. Jesus was in 14th, and unfortunately I think the early crash, yes it was, by Dovidas Laudinavicius ended his race. Also it did the same for Julian Jens, but we will look now onto the battle for fourth. Actually it's for third, of course, as Moose had a good run out of Bandarin, and he's thinking about a move around the outside, braking very late into Lisboa, but he's not able to pull it off. Very good defensive drive from Bevan right in front. He just has to place his car basically there, and then Moose, of course, has absolutely no chance as they go up the hill right now. This absolutely super fast section, which is so astonishing in these cars to drive, and absolutely wonderful to see these cars, of course, go around here. And if Moose is able, if he really wants to pull it off, he has to do it into Lisboa, as he did before, getting a good run out of Mandarin and then into Lisboa, of course. And otherwise, the TCC cars are slightly wide to overtake really into one of these corners. Perhaps Melker could have been placed for the dive bombs, but yeah, just like in real life, we at IVRC yellow flag that permanently for the whole event, and thus not giving an opportunity. Bruce is so much quicker to the Solitude S's. Tell you what, if Bevan is able to stand the pressure against that Bruce is giving him, I have to say, but it's still a long race. We haven't even reached halfway point, and we saw so much action already unfolding. Absolutely crazy to see what has been going on right here at Macau, as these guys, you can see it's super narrow out of Donna Maria now into, of course, Melco hairpin, and now out of it, and they will approach now, I think it is Fisherman's Bend, if it's not the last corner. These guys who know the track better than me will definitely kill me for that. But anyways, the track really widens right here into the port section of Macau, into the harbor section, and if you have a good run right here, you can definitely give it a try, like Ferdinand Habsburg did a few years ago in the real-life Formula 3 World Cup. We can see Mark Stwerka really getting on pace right now. He wasn't that much on pace in practice and everywhere, but he just drove the fastest lap and extended the gap to 4.7 seconds ahead of Tanguy van de Wege. I hope I pronounced that right and not butcher it up, as we can see him going through Lisboa, and also, of course, Bernard Moose once again, but he's not close enough this time. He was in the lap before, and it really forced Bevan to go defensive, and that all gives Christian Alvarez, who's now running in fifth, a good run for his money. He's always so closing up a little bit. It looks like, at least over the last few laps, we'll have to see if he's able to close up to the group that we look at right now. Just before the 6 minutes 20 seconds are over. And oh, Bruce was so late on the brakes. I really thought he would drive into there, give it a try, but no, he thinks better of it. And Bevan into the wall. He can really feel the pressure right now, and you can see Bevan is getting slightly nervous about this big orange Peugeot right in his rearview mirror, of course. But let's have another quick look through the field. Is it because these corners really don't give a chance? Sven Gaylor made up another position against Kenneth Ragland, who apparently had a big one. Look at this. His hood is missing and also his front bumper. Saulius Vladimiritis is currently in 8th and has to defend very soon from Philip Volland, who also catched up quite a lot. He made a big mistake in the qualifying and thus didn't get a lap time in, but of course is allowed to start. But his Alfa Romeo doesn't look too healthy either. Just let's go back to the fight for 3rd, because it's currently the closest top battle we have. Yeah, Mark Zwerke actually putting up the gap to a little bit less than 6 seconds right now. Stanley van der Wege struggled through Melko hairpin, and so does everyone right behind him apparently. Let's see if Christian Albers did that as well, just for confirmation. And now it is time for Bruce to get a good run out of course, the upcoming corners, to have a good run into the final section. There is, which is of course not into the final section, but again into the upcoming section at the beginning of the lap, which will give Moose a good opportunity, but currently it looks like he's a little bit too far away, but you never know. Slipstream is also coming into play, of course, and as the gap is only about 1/10 of a second, very close driving between these two, basically through all parts. Oh no, Philip Volland has DNF'd. I just saw that. We will try to see what has happened, and is that Sven Gaylord with the fastest lap? That is Kenneth Ragland. He has a flat spotted tire. So he has been into some action. Laszlo Taylor's also missing his hood right now. I don't know if that has happened before, but we will have to see what happened here. Was there a collision between these two? They were quite separated on track, and no, doesn't look like it. Kenneth Ragland just he went too wide into that corner and then got a flat spot. That's very unfortunate. And he nearly collected. Was that Saulius Vladimiritis and spinning the car around, and the race control would definitely not like to see that, but we will have to see what has happened to Philip Volland as we go back into the live pictures for a brief second, but we cannot catch up to whatever has happened to Philip Volland. Very unfortunate for him to retire, and we can see now, where was he? Kenneth Ragland made it back into the pits, getting his repairs done very well, and now it's up for these guys in front to deliver some more good racing action, and of course that's exactly what Bernard Roos and Alfie Bevan are doing. So very good fight from between them for pretty much all the race thus far. And we can only look for... Have they actually caught up to Tanguy in front? I think so. Has come down a little bit. And look at that, how these guys are going so fast through this super narrow tracks and circuit, of course, super narrow corners and between the high-rise buildings. Absolutely outstanding circuit with such a lot of prestige. And now, out of the hairpin, of Melka hairpin, Bernard Moose had a good run. And does he think about it into this corner? No, not yet, but Bevan is visibly nervous, and Moose will certainly like to see that, because that's exactly what he needs in his Peugeot against the Volkswagen TCR in front. Which, into the last corner. Moose thinking about it, but does that ruin his run until for the Lisboa corner? No, it does not, because yet he's in range of Slipstream. If he's able to make Mandarin a little bit better than Sven Gaylord, once again with another fastest lap to 31.4, very good lap from him. But if Moose is able to make a good exit out of this corner, carry the momentum, he might be able to close the gap. No, he's too far unless he absolutely sends it. But I think he's too too much of he has too much experience. Oh, Bevan messes it up. That absolutely ruins his run out of Lisboa, but Roos is not able to capitalize from it. He looks to the right, looks to the left, but he's not able to make any move. But he can do that now. Very late on the brakes. Thinking about it, no, he does. Looks to the outside, really getting the pressure on to Bevan right now. The young British driver, even younger than Roos is. Yeah, it's absolutely top tier touring car fighting we can see right here. Absolutely wonderful. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Unfortunately, the big crash in the first lap really ripped the field apart. But we can still see some good action going on here at Macau. And oh, Moose now with a big mistake going into the wall on the right side, clipping it slightly and then goes to the wall on the outside. But it doesn't look like he has any damage and he can continue chasing Alfie Bevan just in front. We can see now the clock has ticked down, of course, to less than 30 seconds remaining, which will mean that Moose into the wall, and so is Bevan. These guys are really fighting hard right now to get some move done, but it looks like Bevan has a little bit more breathing space right now than it was half a second between them. Now it is 1.5 seconds between these two guys, as the clock now approaches the 0 mark, basically, which does happen right now, which means the race time is over, and most likely the race itself is over. Kind of depends where the leader was when the clock stopped. Unfortunately, Automobilista isn't able to make that any more precise. But here we are, and it is confirmed by the game itself. Max Verka in the last lap right now, approaching the start-finish line, and he wins in Macau the first race out of 3. Congratulations from him, made everything right from the start on, and then went on to win the race. And Tongi van der Wege finishes in second, right position below he started, and Alfie Bevan scoring the 3rd podium on the 3rd event in a row. Very good one from him as well, scoring 3rd and was able to hold off Bernard Roos, last year's winner, for absolutely the whole race. Christian Alvarez, also a good performance from him to finish in 5th, and Sven Gelo nearly caught up to Christian Alvarez in the last in the last section. Was he trying it? We have to look at that. These guys were fighting. These guys were fighting really hard, and Galo was so close. Let's just take the onboard camera in the Volkswagen, and he was thinking about it. Nearly put Alvarez into the wall, and then trying to get the momentum done, but Alvarez squeezes him. Absolutely fascinating. They nearly go side by side over the start-finish line. Very good race from him. Saulius Valverde finishing 7th ahead of Laszlo Teglas and John McDonald. Carlos Frau, after crashing out in the first lap, very unfortunate from him, he finishes in 10th ahead of Kenneth Barkland in 11th, Jonathan Holohan in 12th, Jesus Chirinos in 13th, Philip Folland unfortunately didn't end the race in 14th, so did Tobias Lauderdale after an early collision. Julian Jones won the race, of course, didn't finish the race either after the lap 1 incident. Okay, that was it for now. I will leave you alone with the pictures for a few moments time, and then we will be back for the race 2 out of 3 here at the opening event of the IVRC Macau GP.
User joined your channel.
And we are back live here at the Macau GP, and we will have Mark Zwerker for the race winners interview. Mark, congratulations! You won the first race already, and okay, sorry, I'm quite confused as something is going on right now. But hey, here we are. Mark, once again, congratulations to your first race win. How did you feel? How did you see your race unfolding after the start, especially?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. I guess it was my best race. It wasn't my worst. I was doing pretty well. Had a good start. Yeah, and was able to maintain the first position during the first lap of the race. Then Sven failed in the hairpin and spun around, I guess. Don't know if he was spun or if he did it himself, but mainly that, yeah, should have caused the win today.
Yeah, can tell you that he clipped the inside wall, and then somebody, of course, Tanguy was running into him. Of course, with nowhere to go. But yeah, still good drive from you. After all, I mean, you could have done like me last year, so you still won it. Any plans for race 2?
Be fast and overtake cars. I don't know. Same as usual. Just trying to gain some positions.
Okay, that sounds like a plan at least. So yeah, good luck for race 2. It was nice having you here, and we'll see if we speak anymore. And of course, as I said, good luck for race 2.
Thank you.
User was moved out.
So that was race winner Mark Zwerker, who's now jumping around apparently on the track as he celebrates his race 1 win. But we are not done yet for today. Of course, 2 more races upcoming at the IVRC Macau GP. As John McDonald, who has driven a solid race in the first one, just suggests that we should invest in that the stewards should check the car of Mark, as he is apparently cheating. Just joking, of course, but yeah, solid drive for Mark. And actually, John, if you're still watching, can we do that with Sven as well? Because he was super fast as well, and he actually drove the fastest lap and took pole position, of course. And unless if he wouldn't have butchered it up, he would easily have been in contention for the race win as well. But then again, that's Macau. You'll never know what happens. That's exactly the magic of Macau, and that's exactly the thing we try to replicate. And I think we've done that pretty well here at IVRC in the last year, and of course this year as well. And yeah, just a quick flashback. Last year we had the GT3 Cup as well, the GT3 World Cup, of course, run with GT3 cars, and TCC and the Formula 3 World Cup. Unfortunately, the GT3 World Cup does not return this year, but apparently TCC is, as we watch TCC right now. And tomorrow we will see another edition of the Formula 3 World Cup in the new Dallara F3 2019 cars. Yeah, tomorrow will be another exciting race as well, but we are now looking forward, of course, to the upcoming TCC races first, which mean we can say what's going on, and we will see some surprises for sure. Max Zwerker will now start from 8th, which may, of course, as he was the race winner of race 1, and we will see how stuff will unfold right here at the second race. As of course we know that P8 finished will start from pole position right now. P8 finisher will start from pole position for this race. I'm clearly missing something to say right here, but yeah, apparently some people are not ready, and that means we are waiting further a little bit for the race to unfold. Let's just quickly check in. It's going to be a very, very interesting first row for the start, because it's Laszlo Teglas and Saulinos Radovicius who are still fighting it out for the Rookies Trophy. It's between them, and also they are not known for being the fastest drivers around Macau. Still, they will share the front row with Teglas on pole position ahead of Radovicius. And then we will see, of course, Sven Gaylord in position 3 once again. And he will try to make a little bit better impression than he did in the first race. starting from 3, he has everything on his hands. I think, of course, Lauderdale and Teglas will try as at their best to defend from the quick Dutch driver right behind him. But also Christian Alvarez will start from 4th, and he'll definitely try to impress people by the whole event. Bernard Moos, last year's Macau GP winner, will start from 5th. And we'll see Bevan van der Wegen and Straka in the named order. Of course, the podium finishers starting from slightly further behind this time as we reverse the top 8. And then John McDonald, he was just chatting in the stream, will start from 9th. And rounding out, it was Carlos Frau in P10 in the first race, and this means he will start from P10 for this race. And we are definitely looking forward to see what's gonna happen right here. As Philip Folland just drove a lap in practice. The 2:36 is not that quick, but here we are. It's just practice, and the thing where it matters is, of course, the races. So let's just have a quick check on what's going on right now. My stream is slowly starting to break away, apparently. Very interesting. As we switch on to Philip Folland, who's driving an already demolished Alfa Romeo of MPG competition around the streets of Macau. Of course, he was in contention for the championship until around 7 out of 10, and then it was pretty much clear that it will be Mark Straka who will win the championship. And we're finally into the race session right now. Mark Straka starting from 7th is absolutely not correct unless someone is missing. It looks like we lost 2 people, Julian Jins and Tongi van der Wegen. Wonder what happened to them. But anyways, we will see then Mark Straka starting from 7th instead of 8th. So everything I said before was not correct unless except the first 7. Everyone else will of course move up another position, and we will try to look at Laszlo Teglas from TVS Rookie Sim team, Hungarian team, Hungarian driver, of course, driving for his own team, and we are now looking forward to see what will happen at the start, as we will switch perhaps onto the 4th row to see a little bit of the front row at the start, and the start lights that will come on any moment's time now. Yes, it does. 2 lights. Here we are, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are racing here at Macau. And it was a good initial start from Sven Galo, who looks to the outside already. Laszlo Teglas dropping like a stone, but it is not Sven Galo in the lead, but it is Saulius Laudenavicius from SL Racing, the Lithuanian driver, who's now has to defend from Sven Galehood on the inside, and Mark Straka, it is already up into 3rd. That's a and there's a massive crash right behind him, and there's Sven Galehood crashing out of it. That was absolute disaster from everyone, and still the crashes go on. That's exactly, and there's some more carnage going on. Still cars flipping all over the place. That was an absolute massive nightmare, and I think that means we will have a restart of this race, because that's clearly not how things should have been done. We'll try to catch up to that at any moment's time, and it doesn't look like we will see a restart. Let me just quickly check the chat. It's only 3 people that wrote crash, and we definitely need a little bit more. We need 2 more people to write crash to have a restart, but apparently they don't care. They don't know about the rule. So let me just have another quick look onto the stuff that has happened right here, but it doesn't look like anyone has lost a wheel. So apart from these 3 that mentioned crash, so let's just have a quick look, because it was absolutely destroying half of the field right here. Sorry if we miss any of the racing action, but certainly we cannot focus on that if some crashes like this go on. Let me find a good camera for a second, but apparently we don't have one. So just from the view of someone who was a little bit further back, yeah, I can see what it all started basically was Galehood and Zwerka running wide and then pushing Galehood into the wall on the outside. And there's also another crash right behind them as it was Christian Alvarez who drove straight into the wall and caught the emergency exit right here and thus sent John McDonald flying, basically both of the MPG cars right here, and everyone bouncing around the track right there, absolutely outraging how everything went. And I don't even want to focus on that anymore because it was so massive. What's going on? There was even more, and people are just driving into the scene as it happened. And Kenneth Ragland basically was saying, "Yeah, screw this. I'm gonna go straight." Okay, let's go back to the racing action, and we can see an absolute crazy start it was, and definitely not what we wanted to see. But here we are. So it is Macau after all, and it is also Saulius Laudavicius leading the race ahead of Max Verstappen, who has a good run now, and he's trying to win the second race as well. Absolutely brilliant start from 7th to 3rd anyways, and he runs now down the inside, and Laudavicius of course not giving too much of a hustle against Zwerka. As I said before, he's not known for being the fastest, but he's not here for fun, just for fun either. He wants to score good, especially as he still has to win the Rookies Trophy, and Carlos Frau will absolutely like this. He moved from 9th to 3rd already. Alfie Bevan once again in 4th, and he has once again Bernard Roos behind him. Tell you what, Roos doesn't certainly not want to see that once again for the whole race. Jonathan Holohan is running in 6th, head of Kenneth Ragland, who's continuing, so kudos to him. John McDonald only in 8th. He started in 8th and continues to be there, but I think he was one of these guys who were flying around massively. Just was Jesus Chiras in 9th, he also still running. Laszlo Teglas definitely was flying quite a bit. He had some good air time. Dropped from 2nd to 9th, and he's struggling with the damaged car, but he's still continuing, and so is Dovidas Laudavicius, who didn't finish the first race either. And of course we lost Sven Galehood, Philip Folland and Christian Alvarez, very unfortunate in this massive incident. I know the race control warned people about being too aggressive into turn 2, but then again it doesn't look like people care too much. And it is now Carlos Frau who has to make the move up against Saulius Laudavicius, of course, in 2nd, another position. Bevan will certainly have flashbacks, race 1 flashbacks right now, as he's in 4th, and this time it's not for P3 but it's for P4 between Bevan and Roos all over again. So we're certainly looking forward to see this fight unfolding. Also we look forward to see perhaps a fight unfolding between Ragland and Holohan in front. John McDonald also being caught by Jesus Chiras right behind him, and on further notice the field is a bit spread, but here we are now. Bernard Roos, he wants the position, he wants definitely to be in front of Bevan this time, and he's so close, ever closer than he was ever before, and he's thinking about a move around the outside of Mandarin. That certainly will not go as planned, I can tell you that already. And these two collide, and it is Roos once again being struggling out of the corner, but it looks like he has a better top speed despite all the aero damage, and it looks like this time Bernard Roos has finally made it to be once again just in 4th, but he just finally wrestled down his biggest nightmare, Alfie Bevan. But Bevan will certainly not give up so easily, and he, despite having a worse run out of San Francisco, of course it is San Francisco, the corner, which I forgot about the name in the first place. He will certainly try to stay within reach of the Polish driver in front. Also, the fight for P2 is slowly but steadily heating up. Laudavicius actually holding on very easily to be second for the moment, it looks like. And as I said before, Bevan is not able to shake off Bevan right behind him. And Kenneth Ragland already overtook Holohan. We totally missed that, but I believe just from the gap that I see now, I think it was basically the same move that Roos pulled off Bevan just before. Anyways, John McDonald, he's actually faster than Jesus Chirinos. Very good for him as he goes into the wall, and certainly not the race he was looking forward to. But then again, who did look forward to the massive crash we saw in turn 1? Absolutely in lap 1 in Mandarin, and absolutely wiping out the whole field. Very unfortunate. I really would want to see the whole field approach this Bauer at least in race 3, but what do I wish for? It's only some sim racing, and we never know, especially around Macau. Everything can happen in the real life event, in the sim racing events, and we can also see Saudius Laudiavicius having a really decent run around here and giving Karlsfrau the actually making his run worth the money, isn't it? So Frau trying desperately to catch up, but not really able to for the moment. And also Max Zwerka is not really pulling away from this group either. Not like he did before, or at least on scale, not like he did before. And Roos then finally was able to shake off. Sorry, I'm starting to forget names right here. Roos is able to shake off Bevan, which then again, Raglan absolutely impressive around here, and he is trying to catch Bevan now, but with only 6 minutes and a little bit less than 20 seconds remaining, it's gonna be a tough call for Raglan to score against Bevan in front, who will surely try everything to stay within the top 5 at this race as well. Of course, he scored a podium in the first race, and he will try everything to store another good, solid amount of points for FRA Sim Racing right here as well. So, with that being capped, let's just quickly go through the field once again. And now it is time for Saudius Laudiavicius to be chased directly by Karlsfrau right behind him. But anyways, let's just quickly go through the field. Zwerka going into the wall, but still leading the race in his very damaged Cupra. Saudius Laudiavicius has to defend off Karlsfrau for second. Then they are being chased by Bernard Roos, who will surely not catch them unless he's 2 seconds faster than the guys in front of him, which is kind of unlikely. In fourth, ahead of Alfie Bevan, we saw that move happening. Then between Min and Roos, of course, and then Kenneth Raglan in sixth, who's now chasing down Bevan. Holohan just dropped a position against Raglan. Unfortunately, we didn't see that, but he is running in seventh. John McDonald is now being catched once again by Chirinos. It's going back and forth between them, but Chirinos is now in ninth, and Laszlo Teglas running out the top 10, just being chased by Dovidas Laudiavicius, who's also racing for SL Racing, of course. And now let's have a look onto the fight for the podium once again. Well, it's not for the podium, but for the podium positions, basically. Laudiavicius was able to get a little bit bigger, to extend this gap a little bit more. So, putting Frau out of reach of an imminent attack, but you never know around Macau. I said it before, and I will definitely say it once again. Everything can happen, and if Laudiavicius is doing small mistakes here and there, Frau will surely do everything to catch up to him, but at the moment it looks like Laudiavicius is the faster out of these two, the faster driver out of these two, and but then again a little bit late on the entry, and that gives another little bit more time for Frau to study the rear wing of the Volkswagen Golf in front. TCR, of course, the car which will not return for 2020, very unfortunate. Unless it's been used in some real-life private TCR stuff. We will see about how that will develop. But for the moment, we do think that this is the last race of the Golf TCR. Not only in real life it was, but also it is in our league as well. But you never know, especially around Macau. I said it before and I will say it again. Anyways, Bevan now absolutely being chased by Raglan, who's surprisingly fast in my opinion, but hey, it's cool. Good to see new faces already on pace, and the German will definitely try everything to catch Brit in front. It's Britain versus Germany all over again. We had that plenty of times, not only in motorsports, but let's focus on sim racing here. And Bevan puts it into the wall slightly. Does that open up the door for Ragland? He thinks about it. Bevan actually has to go defensive, but no positions gained or lost at this point, as these guys now go approach now police corner, of course. Then they go up the hill into Moorish, and then they approach Donna Maria. Very good, very absolutely twisty section, especially in these TCR cars, TCC cars I should say, as it is called, TCC at the IVRC. But here we are, very tight section with all these high-rise buildings, and then going into the downhill section through Malcolm Hairpin, of course. Ragland very, very late on the brakes right there, but not being able to close the gap. Bevan really had a good exit, and that should, unless he makes some mistakes through Fisherman's Bend in R, that should ruin the run once again for Ragland. And there's some smoke coming up from one car in front. Is that Roos having a flat spot? Yes, it is. No, that's absolute disaster. He was able to pull off such a good move against Bevan, and now he has to go into the pits. Wow. And especially with less than 2 minutes to go, that's absolutely costing him. And he definitely doesn't want to see that. But anyways, that's Macau, as I said before. And here is Carlos Frau trying to make a move around the outside of Saulius Laudinavicius, braking very late. He pulled it off. Absolutely brave move from Carlos Frau, just like Max Verstappen did before. It looked so much smoother though. No offense against Mark, his move was also very, very good as well. But Carlos Frau going around Laudinavicius apparently with so much ease. Here we go. That puts Carlos Frau up into second for the moment, but you never know, as I said it before. And you can see how fast it can go downhill with the example of Bernard Roos, who must have rejoined the track. He did not give up. Ragland so close. He was actually pushing Bevan into the corner before here, and we just jump on board once again with the Cupra TCR. Ragland, no chance for him to do anything around this section as we go through Teddy Yip and now enter the Solitude SS, named of course after the famous German Solitude circuit. But we can see the clock has now ticked down to a little bit more than 10 seconds to go. And we will see what the game says about race distance, as Mark Zwecker must have been somewhere around the last few corners right now. And then we can see him exiting Melko Hairpin, and he's now approaching Fisherman's Bend. And we will see what the game decides, if it's going to be 6 or 7 laps. But I seriously think it is only 6 laps. Only if you have ever driven 6 laps around Macau or even more, you know how demanding they are and how crazy it is to do 6 laps around this absolutely crazy Chinese Macauian circuit. And it looks like the game will send us another flying lap. And Strecker thinks, does he think the race is over? Yep, we will go for another lap, which means 7 laps this time by. So this is far from over, and also it is far from over for Saulius Laudinavicius, who is staying within reach of Carlos Frau. So this is definitely not the end of this fight. And Kenneth Ragland out of Melka apparently, but he has a flat spot. He has a flat spot once again, and he puts it into the wall. And does he stop for retirement? He does stop for retirement with only 1 lap to go. That's definitely not what his team boss would want to see. Max Verker, who has to go around for another lap. But here we are, Laudinavicius braking very late to the inside of Frau. Can he stop it in time? He can! Wow, that's an astonishing move. Very late on the brakes, but Carlos Frau tries to make a move into San Francisco, up the hill of course now, but he isn't able to pull it off. And that means Saulius Laudinavicius is back into second, fighting against Carlos Frau. Who would have thought of that? Last season's vice champion against someone who's about to win the rookie trophy. Of course, you don't win the rookie trophy for nothing. Like you still have to do plenty of work or plenty of effort. You still have to put plenty of effort into it to actually win the rookie's trophy. But still, to see that a rookie basically overcoming a veteran so easily, it's absolutely good to see. And new faces all around, of course, through the whole field. And We just missed that, unfortunately, but in the back, Bernard Lewis was able to overtake Laurinavicius just in time to gain 2 positions with the retirement of Ragland. But here we are. I just hope no one does run out of fuel, because that could have happened. But it doesn't look like it for the moment, and it also looks like Bernard Lewis is trying to catch up to Laszlo Teglas just in front of him. Kenneth Ragland unfortunately retired with only 1 lap to go, and I'm pretty sure his team was also Jesus Chirios retired. I wonder what has happened to him. Another Repsol Spinnaker racing car retiring with 2 laps to go. I think the team owner will not be too happy about it, as we can see him going through a fisherman's bend, and he has just 1 more corner to go to win another race here at Macau. Something he was not able to do last year, and he is certainly delighted to do it twice this year already. As he now goes into the wall in the last corner, our bend of course, and he's now going over the start-finish line at this moment to win another time here at Macau. Congratulations to him, and also congratulations to Saulius Laurinavicius, who will be our rookie trophy winner for certainly, and this is the rookie class winner in this race, finishing ahead of Vetcher and Carlos Frau in 3rd. Another podium for him, and the Alfa Romeo crew will still make them very happy. Alfie Bevan now approaching the last corner as well in his very damaged FRA car. What it could have been for him and his team, at least, if Sven Gaylord wasn't killed in this, basically, of course not killed, but crashed out in the lap 1 incident. We now look onto Jonathan Holohan, who scores a 5th on his first ever touring car championship finish. Of course, he wasn't able to finish the first race. John McDonald also scoring big points in 6th. Bernard Lewis was able to overtake Laszlo Teglas for 7th, and thus will end the race right there as Teglas puts it into the wall, Camara style, but still drags it over the finish line to finish then in 8th, and he is chased down at the end by Dovidas Laurinavicius, who will be our last finisher to cross the start-finish line right now. And that's it for race 2. We are down here, and we can see Kenneth Ragland will score points for 10th. Just so will Jesus Chirios for 11th. Unfortunately, no points will score, despite retiring. Of course, they will score points. Unfortunately, not scoring any points, and of course retiring from the race were Sven Gaylord, Philip Volland, and Christian Alvarez, who had to retire from the race after that massive lap 1 incident out of Mandarin. And I really hope that we don't see that for race 3, but race 3 will happen at any moment's time, of course. That's your result you can see on the left right here, and then we will be back in a few minutes time, or just for the race 2 interview, of course, and also for race 3.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
So after a little bit of delay, we are now ready and prepared for race 3, which will unfold at any moment's time, and hopefully with not that many incidents as we saw before. And we will start off race 3 with a race winners interview from race 2, as we
User was
will
moved to your
welcome
channel.
Mark Zwerker once again in the race winners interview booth, basically. And have to say, once again, congratulations, Mark. Good drive from you. First of all, let's speak about the start. What did you catch from it, and how did you feel about it? Were you involved at all, or did you just were lucky? Were you just lucky?
Actually, I don't really remember. Yeah, you know how it's like to do the races, and especially on a circuit like Macau, you just forgot something
Yeah.
that happened about 10 minutes before. So, um, yeah, it was absolutely mayhem, I guess. Um, I believe I'm not completely sure, but I believe I was involved as I tried to avoid Alvarez and Gelot on the inside of the corner. So I slowed a little bit down and tried to make it around the outside, but then I just miscalculated and hit the wall on the outside. And I believe I touched Sven a little bit there, and he spun out afterwards. I don't really know what happened right behind me. It was just that little bit I catched up, and yeah, I've seen flying cars in my mirror, so I'm not sure if I actually doomed everyone here. So yeah, I guess it's a victory on what do we say? Victory on behalf or behold or something.
Yeah.
As I don't know if I will get a penalty afterwards.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, it was a very, very confusing start for most people, I think. Anyways, after that, your race went pretty calm, except for one big move you actually pulled off, which was a brilliant move around the outside of of Sarius Laudenavicius, of course. It was, as Sven was definitely not on the track anymore. Very good move. How did you feel after, or how did you talk us through the move, please?
Actually, I dived it down the inside, not around the outside, but
Oh yeah, sorry, I mixed it up with Carlos.
yeah,
Whoops, sorry.
everything fine.
You say I forget stuff as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, actually, it was just a stand-up move. Was following him the whole first lap, as I wanted to avoid any contact during the tight parts of the circuit. So I tried my best on the straight line, but I was not really sure if I'm able to catch up to him, as my car was already damaged a little bit due to the crash in the beginning. And oh yeah, well actually I think then I was involved.
Okay.
So my car was damaged and I was sure I won't have the top speed, but he had to lob the throttle a little bit during turn 2, so I was closing in really fast. And yeah, I just tried it. I just hope that he will brake earlier than me and that I'm not braking too late too. And yeah, it just worked out. So pretty standard stuff. Very fair move. He leave me the line,
Okay.
so everything
Yeah.
went out. But I guess we have to get ready for race 3, don't we?
Exactly. So good luck for race 3. Enjoy the show
Thanks.
from the last place, and good luck, man. Have fun.
Thank you.
User was moved out
So
of your
yeah,
channel.
as Mark said, we have to get ready for race 3, as the drivers are getting kind of impatient, and we can of course kind of understand that as we had a long delay, and of course everyone did, and we are now jumping into the race action. As you can see, the clock has ticked down to 0, and we will see who's championship standings will determine your grid position for this one. So that means Jonathan Holohan, who joined us for its TCC debut for today, will start from pole position ahead of John McDonald for Tevis Rookie Sim Team in second, the Australian, ahead of Julian Jins, will start as his teammate, who will start in third, and then we will see Kenneth Ragland, the German, starting in fourth, and yeah, basically Alfie Bevan, Tobias Laurinavicius, Sven Gehlhut, Jesus Giros, Lasso Teglas, and Christian Alvarez running out the top 10. Then we can see Saulius Laurinavicius, Carlos Frau, Philipp Volland, the vice champion, Bernard Meus, actually, of course, Philipp Volland the third in the championship, Bernard Meus on the way to his vice championship, and then Mark Stärker, the champion already. This will start from last place of all drivers here present today. So we'll switch to, let's choose Kenneth Ragland for once to see how the race start will go. And of course, we are now getting ready for the third race of the Touring Car Championship here for the final race of 2019. We're underway. Good start from Alfie Bevan, really good start. He's shooting up between, has overtaken one row already, and he's trying to get into the lead, into Lisboa. No big action going on this time, but it looks like these drivers are thinking about it once again. It's gonna be very, very tight, going 3 wide. They are going even 4 wide right behind them as they approach Lisboa once again, and it looks like John McDonald is in the lead, and there's once again someone spinning off, but no more cars flying this time. It's John McDonald who remained a good position. He started from second, is now in first, and has to defend from Alfie Bevan, but he's braking very, very late. Can he make it round Lisboa? He cannot. He puts it into the wall, and he puts Alfie Bevan into the spin. And this is chaos once again, all over. It's absolutely madness right here. As you can see, Kenneth Ragland was involved. Max Wacker is already up into third. He made up like 200 positions right here. And you can see Julian Jens is actually reversing. He has to reverse, and he's now trying to find his position. But let's go back to the leading group briefly, because that was absolute madness we saw once again unfolding this time at Lisboa, and it was the field is still a lot is not that spread anymore, and it was exactly how we imagined it would be. As you can see, the remains of all these cars involved, and Philipp Volland once again. He's so unlucky this event. I cannot even put it into words. Let us take Max Wacker. We can see just watching the Cupra with the orange roof. He's already passing 4 cars basically at this point. He passed half the field already. Then he gained a lot of profit from the argy-bargy that was going on in Lisboa. In Mandarin. Then it was. Oh, don't tell me it was Alvarez once again. It was Alvarez once again who braked too late and nearly made Sophia Flörsch out of his car. He flourished it basically, and then put everyone into a big one, and there was an Alfa Romeo on its side. I think there was Volland, and then it was absolutely blocked. The whole track was blocked by literally everyone who's standing right here. Very unfortunate for everyone who was involved right behind Alvarez. But it was Julian Jens as well, and Philipp Volland, who's continuing around trying to get back to the pits. But let's go back to the lead battle, because we missed half of it already. We can see team-wise, it's very interesting. John McDonald in first for Tevis Rookie Sim Team, the Australian. And then it's Kenneth Ragland leading his team leader for second, of course. He's trying to defend from championship-winning driver Mark Stärker in third. It is. After lap 1, he had a good start, making up 12th position in only 3 corners. That's championship winning material right here, and he showed exactly why he's able to pull that off so easily. Also, he just overtook his teammate just by speed over the approach to Lisboa, and that was really close as well. And now Ragland's car falling into the grill of Sven Gehlhut, trying to eat him up basically. down the long straight approaching Mandarin, but it doesn't work for now. It is not Mandarin, it is Lisboa, of course. I'm always mixing up these corners. And there's Bernard Roos having to defend from Carlos Frau. Did he attack Carlos Frau? Let's just check very briefly. No, he did not. He had to defend from Carlos Frau right behind and Paul P6. That's a big group right here, and that's exactly the kind of touring car racing I was certainly looking forward for. Of course, it's always fun to see some good crashing, but here we go. That's sport how we want to see it. Let's just have another look. Mark Zwerka is in second. He's trying now to chase down his a driver that's actually driving for his team, or was driving for his team in the WEC Championship. John McDonald, who was driving one of the Repsol Spinnaker Racing GTE cars. Did I say? Yeah, I said it correctly. But he's driving for another team in this series, of course, the Hungarian team led by Laszlo Tigras, who is also... Oh! And there's Ragland into the wall in police bend. He also was thinking about blocking the whole track, as it was a few years ago in the famous GT3 World Cup crash. But these FRA guys will certainly not want to stay there any longer, especially not Sven Galo. It was proven to be so quick, and now it is crashing between these two. We have to go to this camera, and we can see no move done by any of them. And no, it's Bevan overtaking under yellows. That's exactly what you not have to do around this corner, because it's permanently yellow. And now it is Bevan versus Roos all over again. I wonder what has happened to Carlos Frau. Oh, there must have been a major incident between plenty of drivers. Yeah, it certainly was. Carlos Frau was still with Roos as they were going through the Solitude S's. And I really wonder what has happened here. Roos was actually able to get a little bit of breathing space over Frau. And then Frau was basically, he just went into the wall. And so was Dovidas Launavicius, so was Shiros, and so was everyone right behind him. Interesting. That's one way how to make a scene out of everything. Okay, I've never seen something like that before, but hey, it's cool. Or not, however you want to put it. And I think that also ruined the race for Carlos Frau, who gained another flat spot as well. So the Alfa Romeos apparently not liking the Macau walls in this race at least. But they are still around. Davidas Launavicius is continuing. Jonathan Holland has now moved up into 10th by all of these crazy stuff that was going on ahead of him. And of course we missed basically everything that has happened ever since. Especially Bernard Roos making another move against Alfie Bevan, and we will wonder if he's able to stay ahead of the Brit this time by. Also we missed Van Galeholt overtaking Kenneth Ragland, but I think that was on the same corner, as we will have a quick look. No, that's too far back. Let's just briefly check it in a few moments time. And also we missed Mark Zwerka overtaking John McDonald. That must have been a very crazy move as well. Was he close enough on the approach to Lisboa? I don't think so. That's very far away. So it must have happened even afterwards. John McDonald weaving a little bit. As you can see, yeah. All the moves have happened at a different time than I've anticipated. But hey, here we are. Mark Zwerka trying to make 3 out of 3. But I think John McDonald and especially Sven Galo right behind him are trying everything to do, to prevent that, and don't want to let go Mark Zwerka out on a high, but still he's leading the race for the moment ahead of John McDonald and Sven Galo. Kenneth Ragland struggling around the corner actually, and is now being punted by Bevan and Roos, or actually just by Roos. Bevan then again punting himself on the inside of the corner as he tried to make a move, but at least he didn't overtook on the yellow flags this time. Saulius Launavicius chasing down Jesus Chinos in 8th, Laszlo Tigras in 9th, Jonathan Holland in 10th, ahead of Dovidas Launavicius, who's also his race was pretty much of a roller coaster until this point. Julian Jins in 12th, ahead of Carlos Frau, who rejoined the circuit in 13th, ahead of Christian Alvarez, and then Philip Folland in 15th. So no one out of the race yet, which is good news. And we totally missed another move as Sven Galo was able to overtake sorry, John McDonald. I think I that must have been into Fisherman or R bend, but I think that was most likely into R bend. Yeah, he's thinking about it from the outside. No, it was on the main straight, and then the next corner belonged to Galehood, as John McDonald was nearly crashing out at the first corner, which is called Reservoir, from what I can recall. Sven Galehood now into second, and also he drove the fastest lap the last time by, and he's now trying everything to chase down Mark Stwerker just in front of him and to win at least one race, which he would definitely deserve, just judged on his pace, to win one race at least here around the streets of Macau. Absolutely wonderful circuit, and I'm certainly looking forward to tomorrow's event as well. But here we are, and we can see Kenneth Ragland trying to make a move, not trying to defend from Alfie Bevan, of course. Bevan was the whole race behind Ragland, and Ragland definitely being under pressure right now. He was absolutely flying in race 1, and now it looks like he's struggling a little bit. Also, Bevan really into the gearbox with his Volkswagen also at this moment. I wonder if there's any discussions going on between these two teams, because Bevan could put it off Ragland at any moment's time, but he doesn't do that for the moment. It's rather Ragland punting off himself, and we will switch to the onboard of Bevan now, as we will approach Melco hairpin for another time. And there we can see up front it was Bernard Roos putting it into the wall slightly, but not making any profit from it, and Bevan going around the outside of Ragland, out of the hairpin. Ragland put it into the wall on the exit, and now Bevan makes up another position to be in 5th, and Ragland loses another one to be only down into 6th. Jesus Chilos is definitely being chased by Saulius Laudianitis, who scored such a good second position in the second race. I think that was his best result in TCC as well. Laszlo Teglas also in 9th, and Jonathan Holohan in 10th, still being chased by Dovidas Laudianitis. So the positions right behind here haven't changed that much. Carlos Flores must have had some issues because he lost the position, and Philip Folland having the loneliest race ever to be in 15th. Of course, points will be given down to P15, and we missed another move. This time it was Galehood against Stwerker for the lead it was, and we will surely check that in the replay at any moment's time after we can see him sliding through Lisboa. Is he getting under pressure by Mark Stwerker? Can Mark Stwerker chase him down as well? John McDonald still hanging on to P3 for the moment, but we will of course check the lead battle that is enraging here around the last few minutes of the third race, of the final race of the 2019 IVRC Touring Car Championship season, and it's absolute what we have hoped for. And it couldn't have been more exciting, especially as if Sven Galehood is staying within the championship, will definitely not only overtake Mark Stwerker for the race win, but if he continues like that, he will definitely be a strong contender for the 2020 Touring Car Championship title, and perhaps be the successor of Mark Stwerker. So that was kind of a symbolic move. So let's see. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong camera. And let's just go back a little bit further, because I want to see everything unfolding here. Yeah, Galehood trying to make it on the outside, and also giving Stwerker a worse exit, and then basically going around the outside. Wow, that was such an easy looking move. Holy moly, that's some brave stuff he did right here. And he tricked Mark Stwerker into the defensive line, into the first corner, then made the switchback. Of course, it's not really a switchback at these speeds, but then simply drove past the Cupra just in front to be in first for now. And we will go back to the live pictures if Automobilista will ever allow me to do that. We do, and we can see him leading 5.5 seconds over Stwerker. Stwerker must have had some issues. Oh, does he have a flat spot tire? He has! Stwerker absolutely destroyed his front left, and he has to go to the pits with only 2 minutes on the clock, which means that it will be for P3 once again on between McDonald and Bernard Roos, and McDonald actually going into the wall right here. Let's quickly check. Yeah, Sverker going into the pits, and Bevan once again being promoted to 4th. No, he didn't. I spoke too soon, and now he's rejoining the track exactly how he's not supposed to do. I tell you what, Kenneth Ragland will not be happy about it, and race control won't be either. That's absolutely not the way how you rejoin the circuit. And also Jesus Shiras was having some real issues right here. Too far to go back. He was exiting the last corner very weirdly, but still not much of a hassle. And also we missed another move right here, another move live. Let's just stay with the live pictures for a moment because it's going absolutely crazy at any moment's time here. Bernard Roos in second right now after a totally crazy chaotic lap from 4th to 2nd in just one corner, and not in one corner but in like 5 corners. John McDonald staying in 3rd, of course, with the issues Sverker has hit. Ragland once again in front of Bevan. Bevan still in 5th though, not losing any positions. Shinos now into 6th, and I think no, that doesn't make him the best Repsol Renegade Racing driver, of course, but still a good position to be in. Saulius Laudavicius trying to catch up, and he finally did that to Jesus Shinos, but you know, especially at Macau, the rule catching up is one thing, overtaking another counts in, and Max Sverker is now down into 8th after a repair stop. And he's into the wall once again. I hope he didn't damage his car any further. But then again, here's Laszlo Teglas trying to chase down Max Sverker in front in 9th, and Jonathan Holohan is still staying in 10th, still able to defend Dovidas Laudavicius right behind him. And right behind them it's Carlos Frau into the wall in 14th, Christian Alvarez in 13th, Philip Volland, of course, staying where he was before, and he's about to fall down a whole lap here around Macau. Definitely not the race MPG competition was looking forward for, scoring only 3 points. It's definitely not the thing they wanted to, who scored the 2 out of 3 team championships already. But here we are, Sven Gaylord going over the start-finish line to start the final lap of the 2009 of the year. Oh no, it is not. Sven Gaylord winning the race. Game told me that really late. Also, my Spanish is not that good. And Sven Gaylord finally winning the race, and also winning the Macau Grand Prix, the Macau Touring Car Championship Grand Prix, as it is traditionally the last race that decides, but that's only informal. Sven Gaylord winning. Absolutely brilliant stuff, and Bernard Roos not winning but still finishing in 2nd after a really exciting race for him as well. And of course, John McDonald is absolutely livid right here to finish on the podium. He celebrates like he's won the race. Kenneth Ragland finishing in a good 4th. It's a very good race from him as well. Bevan still staying in 5th, but I am not sure if no penalties will follow because of his rejoin after his spin. Saulius Laudavicius finishing in 6th and thus gaining the Rookies Championship, Rookies Trophy actually it is, sorry. Jesus Shiros finishing 7th ahead of Max Sverker, his teammate, team owner, team boss, and Laszlo Teglas finishing in 9th, and as some cars flip round. Dovidas Laudavicius ultimately made a move against Jonathan Holohan and won the race. Julian Jeans is still on track, trying to limp home in 12th in a very damaged Volkswagen car. Not on pace for today, but he's getting ever faster at every round he does, and we can see him improving already. And he finished the race in 12th. Very good for him to finish a race as well. Christian Alvarez will finish the race in 13th. Sorry, just slightly ahead of Carlos Frau, who will be super disappointed, especially after scoring 2 podiums in 3 events last year. And Philip Volland is now just down in the Melco hairpin. He has such a long way to go still. He was so far down the order, but at least he didn't go, he wasn't lapped once, which would have been a real shame for him, especially as he was fighting for the championship for such a long time and now has fallen off the cliff at the very end of the season. But here we are, Philip Volland, of course, finishing in 15th at any moment's time, and unfortunately it was just looking it up, Sven Gehlhout is not in our team speak, so I cannot pull him in for the touring car for the race 3 race winners interview, of course. Would have been interesting to hear what he would have said about his weekend and also of his race 3 win, but here we are. Volland just crossed the start finish line, and we can see Sven Gehlhout finishing off his cool down lap, his victory lap around Macau, and that was a wrap. That is a wrap, of course, of the 2019 Touring Car Championship season. It was an absolutely outstanding season, especially with the streaming we had, and it was very. I am super happy to have a consistent streaming right here. As Sven Gehlhout is now approaching the start-finish line to go into some kind of winners celebration formation or anything, and yeah, we've seen so many ups and downs through the whole season. It was absolutely crazy. Once again, congratulations to Mark Zwerka for winning the championship. But we can see right now in the picture, the new kid is on the block, Sven Gehlhout, and of course the whole FRA sim racing team. If they stay in the championship, I too will put my money on this guy, because he's absolutely crazy fast. And also Tanguy van de Wege, sorry, if he's coming back, he's also a very strong contender, alongside the very familiar faces of Mark Zwerka, of course, and perhaps some underdogs like Bernard Roos or the MPG competition crew was also ever running so strong. Not this season, but they will surely try everything to bounce back. And that was it for today and for the 2019 season. Once again, congratulations to Mark Zwerka, to all the race winners, pole setters, and everything we saw. As we can see, Bernard Roos celebrating his second position in the race, celebrating his second position in the championship. He is vice champion, and thus has all the reason to celebrate. Also, congratulations to Philipp Volland for staying in third. And ultimately, congratulations to this man. It is Saulius Laurevičius for winning the Rookies Trophy. Most likely it is him who won the Rookies Trophy. And then it was it for today, of course. It was my pleasure to comment to take you through the opener of the IVRC Macau GP Grand Prix, and we will be back tomorrow around the same time, more or less at 19 o'clock GMT for the Formula 3 World Cup event. I'm certainly looking forward to commentate. Alongside me will be Philipp Volland, and thus I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and also I hope to see you back tomorrow.